All right, guys, as promised, we're going to do a video today on dark web. So in my previous video, if you guys saw that with the top hat, Wellington top hat build, I also had dark web in that build, but I did it in casual. So for this video, as promised, I'm going to do a showcase built around leagues. So I basically took that deck, changed a few things in it, and kind of converted it more towards a league deck. So basically took out some of the energy build that was going on in it. So I've titled this one Web of Hats. So again, running the Wellington top hat and dark web. So this card will be the primary focus of this video. It's going to probably be my thumbnail. So dark web says, when drawn, for each card in your opponent's deck with a base power of 50 or more, up to a maximum of 5, your cards wherever they are with 50 or more base power gain +5 permanently. So what that means is we need to have cards in our deck over 50 power. Wellington Top Hat, on the other hand, says when played, if played next to Pocket Watch, your arts and culture and science cards wherever they are gain +17 this round. So we want to take advantage of the fact that we have Top Hat and Pocket Watch in the deck, and then arts and culture and science cards. So the deck is split kind of 50-50 between science and arts and culture. I think there might be one more science card than arts and culture. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so Pocket Watch, when played with Top Hat, says for every round completed this game, your Wellington Top Hat card in hand gains +25 power this turn. So it does buff the hat when they play with each other. So not only you're getting a buff on all your cards here, you're also getting a buff on the hat itself. So other cards in the deck, you can see we just have those two archetypes, science and arts and culture. Amongst arts and culture, we have King Arthur. I added this for the energy gain because this week's event, by about round 4, sometimes round 5, I noticed you're kind of running low on energy, so I actually subbed out a different card I had in this deck. I think it was Cyclops. I took it out and put King Arthur in just for this little bit of energy kick if I can play it on turn 1, which I usually hold and do that. Stradivarius, when played, your cards adjacent to this gain +38 power this turn, so that's an inclusion that was not in the previous build. Along with Rabbit's Foot, at the start of each turn, this card loses 12 power permanently, and a random card in your hand gains +12 power permanently. So just kind of another buffer there. What else do we have as far as arts and culture goes? So I wanted some cards that were a little on the cheaper side, but still over 50 base power. And Poltergeist fit the theme. And I do like the little RNG it has thrown in, where 4 random cards from either player's hand gain +22 power until played, and 4 random cards from either player's hand lose 22 power until played. It's just a fun card all around. I mean, it's not the best competitive card, but I'm not too concerned about trying to get to Dragon or anything like that. So just here having fun. But I know you guys like some different types of league decks, so this is what I'm bringing you. Boxing. So we do have several cards in this deck that are over 70 base power. So whenever they are, once this is played, your cards that are over the 70 base power gain +14 power until played. So just a nice little buffer for our big fatties, such as Art Deco, who also is in here for the energy gain, and he is going to buff himself +20 permanently when played. We have the Hermit, which is again in here for its raw base power of 99. At the start of each round, your cards in hand lose 10 power this turn. And then when played, your cards adjacent to this lose 50 power this turn. So we want to try to, if we are going to play 3 cards on the turn, we want to try to play it next to something like Mycoplasma, where it's not really affecting it too badly, or possibly Rabbit's Foot if it's ticked down quite a bit. So basically those are the cards you want to try to play the Hermit next to. Also, let's see, do we have any, is that all of our arts and culture cards? I think it is. So switching gears over to science cards, we have the Night Witches, which has been a really good card for me. I kind of didn't expect it to be, and it kind of surprised me a little bit with the sheer power of this thing. And it seems to take the buffs really good. Now, you don't even notice a lot of times when it's lost this 44 power once it's returned to your hand, because it's just everything else in this deck is buffing it right back up. So it's a nice cheap 4-drop that's got really high stats, which is why it's in the deck, along with Peridot, another cheaper 4-drop with high base power. So both these cards fit the bill for boxing and for our dark web. So that's why they've been included. Peridot says when drawn, this card loses 40 power permanently, and a random card in your hand gains plus 40 permanently. So we don't mind. It's just switching from it to something else, so you're not really losing the power, but then it's getting buffed by all these other cards because of its raw stats. So works out pretty good, honestly. I actually like it's a pretty good inclusion, I think. Again, Mycoplasma, just hurting card opposite by 50 permanently, and it makes it a little cheaper for the opponent. Door to Hell is one of the additions we added just for that sheer power that we want on a given turn. It really takes us over the edge sometimes. Twin Paradox has been really impressing me as well. Another card that as you play it gets bigger and bigger and cheaper. So great card. Doppler Effect, another really good card that I've been kind of high on now that I've been playing with it. When drawing your science cards in hand, gain plus 30 power, and they're a little bit cheaper for 2 turns, which is fantastic. And then you just have to try to play around its return where you don't have any science cards really left in your hand, so try to play all your science cards with it, and then you don't really get hit by this minus 15 power permanently. What else we have? Other inclusions are Francium and Plutonium, again, just for their raw stats. Plutonium, when drawn, all cards in both players' hands burn 5 until this is returned to your deck. And then when played, your cards adjacent get a little buff by 20. And then when returned, your opponent's card opposite loses 5 power permanently. And then Francium's just dinging itself down 22 at the start of every turn. So you want it, when you draw it, you want to try to play it right away so it's not hurting itself too badly. But again, it's still getting buffed by Dark Web and by boxing. So a lot of times when we draw it later on, it still has pretty high stats just for 1 energy, which is nice to get. Sometimes just to get a little cheap 1-drop in there, So that's the deck. Again, it's been performing fairly decent. So let's go check it out in leagues here for you guys, and you can see what I'm talking about. Hopefully we're not we don't get smoked by some crazy deck here, but it's been decent. It hasn't been putting up insane, ridiculous numbers like I know some of those new decks now can do, but we're trying to show something different. I'm not trying to just show, all the best cards stuck into one deck every game. That's no fun. So give you guys something different to sink your teeth into occasionally when you want something different that can still do a little something. So that's what we're going for. All right, so we drew our Dark Web, which is perfect. Let's see what kind of buff we get. So we got the full 25. So we definitely want to get it back into the deck. Yeah, I want to get Door to Hell along with Francium. It's a pretty good first turn for us there. All right, his Aya Ra hitting us there a little bit. So it looks like we're up against an Egyptian build. All right, so we don't want to play Doppler yet. You can see we have a ton of science cards, so we want to wait until we get a little less science cards in our hand, and then Doppler will be good to go. you can see, this deck's consistently already putting out 400 power pretty much last... Well, I guess he dinged us last turn, but had he not, it would have been, almost a 400 power turn for us. It's pretty strong right out the gate, I feel like. All right, so this will be a good turn for Doppler. That way we're not getting a negative penalty on it. And we hit the Sphinx, which was good for us. All right, so there we go. Round 1 in the books. We'll take the win. All right, we drew our pocket watch, so it looks like we are good to play this Wellington top hat. Also want to get down King Arthur, so we get the benefit off of it. So that's going to give us that extra energy. As you can see, we're really burning through our energy quite quickly. So this should help us this round now, kind of preserve some of that energy that we've been burning really fast. This deck has a lot of high-cost cards in it. Did try to include a few cheaper ones. That's why you see a lot of 4 and 5 drops. But there still are some expensive cards that we can't, and their auto includes, like Dark Web. Have to include it, and it's expensive. All right, so what do we got here? We've got Twin Paradox, the Hermit. So I think I want to get boxing going. Let's do Twin Paradox and Peridot. We're still waiting for something to play with Hermit. That might be a little bit better. Good turn for him. All right, so we're going to have to play catch up on this last turn now. Down by 80. Got our Twin Paradox getting a little bigger there. All right, we got our Dark Web and Door to Hell, so that should help us get a little bigger here. So maybe we can take this round here. All right, let's do it like this. See if we can take it with 500. Oh, we're going to lose 50, I forgot. So not quite 500. It's going to be close. Oh my gosh, we lost by 1. Wow. My shoot 'em was so close there. That was it's pretty nutty. Unfortunate. You hate to see it. All right, so we drew our Francium. We need to get it down and played. Really want to get our Door to Hell back going too, so probably going to need it here coming up in the last round. Let's do it like this. All right, Ra's going to hit us again. Egyptian deck putting down some power. Not too shabby. All right, we got our Stradivarius. That's good for us. I think we're gonna play the Doppler. I'm gonna do it like this, even though we're gonna lose 15 on our Door to Hell. I think it's okay. I want to get that Stradivarius going now. I don't want to wait a turn to play it. I didn't realize how hard the Egyptian decks hit. Holy moly! I'm gonna have to try to make one of those. There's our Night Witches doing work there. Unfortunate timing on this. Since this is further round, it's getting them the buff, so not going to be taking full advantage of that. It's either we try to secure the game with it. Yeah, we'll give it a try. I hate wasting it, but let's see what happens. Maybe we can pull out the win here. Let's see how much this Sphinx buffs itself. Okay, so we ended up squeezing out the round. I kind of wasted the Wellington top hat buff, but it is what it is. Wanted to make sure we secured that. All right, we got our King Arthur now, so we want to get him back in. I'll make sure we're not, if we go to that 5th round, I don't want to be losing too much energy. All right, there's our Dark Web. Should give us a little buff here. Rabbit's Foot buffing up our Poltergeist. So you can see this Peridot, even though it's been losing 40 permanently, still hitting pretty hard, just from all the buffs it's getting. All right, good lead going into this final turn. I think we got a good shot to win right here. Some nice power cards here. I think that's going to do it. I don't think he's going to be able to come back from that. So as you can see, late game, this deck really does amp up pretty quickly. Starts hitting pretty hard. All right, let's do one more. See if we can win 2. It's been pretty good. I think I lost 1 game with it. Trying to think what I played against. It was a good deck. It had like Planet X in it and some big hitter cards. So I wasn't too surprised to lose. I think it had like World Turtle in it and a whole bunch of good cards. So basically a stacked deck. But that's okay. I think I kept up with them though to the last round, so I'm okay with that. Can't win them all. All right, so we definitely want to get King Arthur down. Let's get our Door to Hell back cycling, and what else here? Let's do this Mycoplasma. I hit the death. That was a terrible pick. All right. Got the first turn, so taking the lead. See what we draw here. This might be a good time to get Doppler back in our deck with Francium. He's got the Chronophotographic Gun. And he's got Plague Doctor too, so that's going to hit us next turn for 100 since he's already played Death. There's our Dark Web. Nice buff for us. So at the start of next turn, we want to play the Wellington Top Hat and Pocket Watch so we get the full benefit off of it. Probably going to lose this round. Grim Reaper dinged our top hat there. Unfortunate. There's our Rabbit's Foot starting to buff things up. Peridot chose Rabbit's Foot. That was unfortunate. We don't really want to see that happen. All right, there's our Boxing and Plutonium. Give us a little buff. What's he got? Yeti. So he's buffing up his cards. Little Statue of Liberty deck. Nice. I made one of those recently. You guys want to check that out? I got another video on it. It's a fun little deck. That should secure the round for us. All right, on to round 3. Gonna play that King Arthur down now so we can get the benefit off of it. Probably get Doppler and Mycoplasma down too. Good turn for him. Nostradamus hiding in that deck, huh? There's our Dark Web. Hit that Rabbit's Foot. Ah! No luck for me. Here's that Plague Doctor doing work on us again. It's going to be a tough one to come back from now. Yeah, I don't think we can win this, so I'm just going to go ahead and play these two. Looks like he's also running Dark Web. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of people playing that card. I think the card's really good, very strong. So I'm not surprised. I think we're going to see it in most of the meta, if I had to guess. All right, he's got his Yeti buff going on there. Looks like he's got Blood, Sweat, and Tears in his deck as well. That's interesting. Four Horsemen, Blood, Sweat, and Tears build he's got going there. Hit that Art Deco on our Peridot, so that was good. Statue of Liberty giving him a buff. Problem is he's going to have his good cards coming back around now on this last round. All right, looks like we took round 4. I think this 5th round is going to be probably a tough one for us. Let's see if we can do it, though. There's our Dark Web. Perfect. Should give us a nice little buff here. Oh, it looks like he's running out of energy now. That's why we added King Arthur, really. I mean, you see how much it's helped us this game. We're going to win this on a technicality here, just because he didn't plan his energy properly. Could be good for us. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have enough energy to win this now. All right, let's see if we can steal the win here. Let's just put the max power down we can. That might be the best. Let's do it like that. And there you go, guys. We ended up stealing it the last round just because he ran out of energy. So you got to plan your decks accordingly. Again, I realized that early on that this deck didn't have enough, so I added King Arthur and made it enough for me. So just keep that in mind when you are building these types of decks in these arena formats or league format. Just need to make sure, because it seems like you have endless amounts of energy, but as you get to that last round, you might not. So just keep that in mind. Appreciate you guys watching the video. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe. Shoot me a like, comment. If you got any cards you'd like me to showcase or deck ideas for me, just let me know. And I appreciate you guys watching.